Hi, everybody. Dr. Kimberly Hubenette here, and this is Live, Love, Survive, Thrive. And we're joined here today with my dad, uh, Dr. William Quan. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
That's my dad, Dr. William Quan. Now, we're in San Diego today, and I'm visiting because we're going to go see my my niece Chloe. She's graduating from UC Riverside, and we're going to go see her graduate tomorrow. Very exciting. Today is a Monday, and usually we meet once uh, a week, Mondays, and one Monday a month we are live, and we're at Daniel's Chapel of the Roses. Last week, well, today, for me, I'll tell you what I did. Um, I actually had a lot of things happen to me. And the first thing is I thought I lost my laptop. And I was so devastated because I lost my laptop. And I had to wait until I bought a new laptop. I went to Best Buy. They were going to load it up. And for some reason, I kept looking through my car, and I actually found it on the vertical behind the seat. So for 2 weeks, I was ranting and raving that I lost my laptop at Oakland Airport, but in fact, it was always there. And I also thought I lost my credit card. So it's a part of me thinks that, you know what, I think I need to stop and smell the roses. I need to stop, slow down, and just be present. And that's a lot of things to think about because being present is actually something that I think not a lot of people do. A lot of people are just going, and they don't stop and think about what they're really doing because sometimes people can lose things. They don't think that or they think that, it got stolen or something. But no, that I had to think about this, and honestly, I have to slow down. I have a lot of things going on in my mind, and my mind goes a mile a minute, and I just have to slow down because somebody's telling me I better slow down or else something worse is going to happen. So I just want to have that as one of the teaching things today, that you really have to slow down in order to speed up in your life. Okay? So, make a long story short, I ended up finding my laptop. I even found my other credit card, which I tried to shut down. So now I have two new things that I shouldn't have done. I bought a new computer and I got a new credit card number. Well, I can't take the new credit card number back because I already shut the other one down. But I did take back my laptop, and luckily, it was only 2 or 3 days old, so they took it back because I never really picked it up because I had them uh, trying to configure it. But I'm so happy that I got my old laptop back. And they said that I was going to have at least 3 or 4 years left on my laptop. So might as well just keep the same laptop. Just because I could buy a new one doesn't mean I need a new one. And I really have everything that I need on my old laptop. So there you go. What do you think about that, Dad?
I'm computer illiterate, so I guess it's okay.
Are do you find sometimes that if you do too much that you lose sense of track of time and lose things?
I guess. Uh,
Do you have any thought about that?
I just try to stay in my own realm, doing what I like to do in my dental practice and with my second wife, Linda. I'm in San Diego enjoying life, and I'm doing okay.
So, a little bit of background about my father and myself. He's on this podcast because he actually lost his wife. How many years ago?
I lost my late wife 18 and a half years ago.
And that was with my mom, Anna. And he's been lucky enough that he survived and now he's thriving. He has a new wife, and Linda, who is also a widow. And hopefully one day she'll tell us her story, but really she's kind of shy, so she might not. But let's talk about this. Don't you think you're lucky in life to have met another person to share your life with and that she's also a widow?
Yes.
And is that how you think that you are compatible in such a way?
Well, I'll go even one step further. I think I've been blessed in my life uh, from day one when I met my late wife. I always thought that uh, God was watching over me.
Uh-huh.
God had his wings over me in my life. I got a good wife the first time around, and she got me through dental school. If it weren't for her, I never would have made it. Uh, she gave me hope. She was my trusty companion, and we got through dental school. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and but I had a good companion. Then we started my dental office after I got out of dental school. She worked with me as my secretary and my assistant for about 10 years before she went on with her own career as a teacher. And then we went through life. We ended up with kids, a family, and I worked like I'm in my 56th year of practicing dentistry.
Wow.
I think it gives me a reason to keep living because I was trained well at USC School of Dentistry back in '70 when I graduated, and I still use what I've learned to practice in 2026. I still work about. I'm 81 years old now, and most of the people in my high school class from Central California have retired.
What about your dental class? Has everybody retired there too?
I lost track of my dental class. We haven't had a reunion in my dental class, but I had reunions in my high school class. And like I said earlier, most everyone has retired in my high school class. But I keep working, and see, I've learned from talking to my patients, especially the ones that retired. Um, I kept hearing this one statement from the retired people. They told me they wish they never retired. They didn't have anything to do in retirement. So I hear this and I realize I don't want to retire yet because I like to work about 3 or 4 days a month uh, practicing dentistry. Gives me a reason to still be creative, functional, and it gives me a reason to keep going. And plus, I have loyal patients. They tell me I've had some patients since day one, like 56 years now. And my patients tell me they don't want me to retire. They don't know where else to go because they trust my skills, my diagnoses, my treatment, and they don't want to go anywhere else.
And trust is a pretty good thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, because you're very, as a dentist, and I'm a dentist also, by the way, but you have this certain sense and they trust what you say. And basically, they come from all over. right?
Get
What's the
all
furthest?
walks of life.
What's the furthest? Walks of life versus length of time that they're can to get how far away they live, right?
See,
There's two different
I have
realms.
patients that they're farmers. Some patients are teachers. Other people just work for a living. And I have judges, medical doctors, surgeons. I have fellow dentists coming to see me. And
And they tell you stories about their life and their widowship, right?
that's
So
right.
before you were a widow, you had patients that talked to you too, right?
That's right.
What's the commonality of some of the stories that they tell you when they
I
first
would
lose
say
their loved one?
when they lose someone dear to them, for instance, when it happened to me 18 and a half years ago, I thought my life had ended. When my wife died, I thought I was a goner. And actually, for a year, I tried to live by myself, cooking and being by myself. I would find that when I got home after work, I could hear a pin drop in my house. It was so lonely. The loneliness, the grief, and the pain was there. And I thought it was over for me. And then, for some crazy reason, after a year, I couldn't take it no more. Then I started looking for companionship, and I found this one patient of mine that I tried to date, and she wasn't interested. Then I found an old girlfriend of mine from high school days, and she wasn't interested. And then lo and behold, I ran into one of my patients in a Chinese restaurant. She was waitressing, and hey, she did something totally unusual. She passed her phone number to me, but she was a widow, and I was a widower. And I started dating her, and lo and behold, I've been married for 16 years now. And like I told you earlier, I think God has been watching over me, making sure that I had a life. And I'm grateful.
Would you say that it's easier to date somebody that's a widower also, or not?
I think it would be easier because she has gone through what I went through,
Hmm.
and she knows how to cope and stuff. And we get along quite well. We've been married 16 years, and like I celebrated my 16-year anniversary with her like 3 weeks ago, and I told her, "Thanks for the first 16 years. I want 16 more from her." So we get along.
And would you say it's easier because you have things in your house and she has things in her house that are both from your previous
That's
spouses?
right.
So would you say that she allows you to grieve and you allow her to grieve too?
Yes, like I was told by son, don't talk about y- like your late wife to your new wife and stuff. And if they don't want to really hear. But hey, I found it. That's how I got to know my second wife. I I picked her mind, how she felt, where her background came from, and I started to learn more about her life very deeply. And she relates to me. We get along quite well.
How about with your patients?
Oh, what's crazy is, see, I have a small dental practice. I found out when my late wife passed away that my patients weren't just my patients. You know, my patients were my friends. They kept propping me up because they told me they noticed that it's very obvious when my late wife died. I went down the tubes. I looked sad, unhappy, and my patient told me they saw that. now they see that I'm happier, that, hey, I'm living again. And the thing is, like Kimberly said, you survive, you don't give up. And I know that my late wife wouldn't want me to give up because uh, I think she's watching over me in heaven and she wants me to continue. So that's what I do. Life is very simple. It's not complicated. You just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anybody in the audience there know what we're talking about? What has been anything that you've noticed in your life? And, let's write it down and talk about this because it's a very important thing. You know, basically, if you want to have that in your life again, do you want to have that in your life again? And do you want another spouse? Because obviously we say, oh, when we pass away, we're going to see our spouse in the future again in heaven. And they're looking for us in heaven and we're going to find them in heaven and then we have another spouse. So there's interesting situations where, some spouses don't want us to have another spouse.
Right.
Or there's some spouses that say, hey, yeah, I have another spouse. Or on the opposite side, there's some spouses that are jealous of the other spouse that was already gone. So what do you do about that? I mean, there's all walks of life, right, Dad? When we're talking to our patients, we hear a lot of different things.
Oh,
And
yeah.
obviously, it's HIPAA not to tell anybody about who's saying what.
For
But
instance,
there is something.
I had this one patient when right after I lost my wife, she was a widow too, this other thing. And she flat out told me, don't you dare date again because you should be loyal to your late wife and he wouldn't want you to date again. He was the only one out of several hundred pages that told me that. The rest of them told me it was okay to search out happiness again. And hey, I found it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, to be blunt with you guys, I still love my first wife.
Obviously, you're always going to have
I love my second wife too. See, so you keep going, you guys.
There's
You don't
different
give up.
kinds of love in your heart, right?
That's
You
right.
can you love more than one person, two people?
I've
You
thought
think so?
about that, Kim. You can love more than one person at the
In a
same
different
time.
way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because love is a omniscient emotion.
Yes.
Just like I love my brothers, my dogs, my nieces, my nephews, my dad. I guess you could love more than one person
Yeah.
in your life.
See, like when my late wife passed away, I I broke down how to cope in three different ways.
This is good, ladies and gentlemen. Write this down.
One way was live with it,
Okay.
be by myself.
Uh-huh.
But I realized when I did that, I tried it for a year. I still had pain, major grief, and unhappiness. But I was trying to be by myself and trying to cope with everything by myself.
Uh-huh.
The other way is what I did, where I went out after a year and I found another spouse. And then the third way I found out is one of my patients who lost her husband. Uh, she went to live with her children and grandchildren. So I found out there's three ways to cope with the loss of your spouse. And I have picked one way and I'm happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think that your life's like more fulfilled with a new person in your life and you're sharing things with them?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And if you didn't, then what would have happened?
Oh, I would have died from misery.
But like, you had my brothers and you had the nieces and I mean your grandkids, but it wasn't enough, huh?
That's correct. It wasn't.
They would always invite you to things, but did you feel lonely even though you were there?
Even though I was with them, I felt lonely.
And and So what did you do? Did you go home and say did you stay with them more, or did you go home because you felt sad?
A little bit of both. And then when I found my second wife, I got happier again. And, you have to pick up the pieces, you guys. You can't just live in the basement and tolerate.
Mhm.
It's doable, but it's not good for you.
Mhm.
Like I told you guys, had I not met my second wife, I would have been dead by now.
And how old are you?
I'm 81. I lost my first wife when I was 64.
So that was, gosh, that's been a while.
It's been a while, 18 and a half years.
Yeah. Sometimes when I think about it, it's sad, but the longer that my mom has been gone, I can't remember her voice anymore. But then I play my tape of her because I have this tape of her from my telephone,
Yeah,
my old telephone recordings, and I hear her voice,
yeah, yeah,
a voicemail,
yeah,
or I see a video or something. But 20 years ago, we didn't have like that many videos on our cell phones or
no,
things. Now it's perfected where we could take a video and listen to it and watch it and, have it in the cloud so that we could see it again. I think that I have a handful of my husband Mark's videos too that I wish I would have taken more videos of him talking because sad to say, the longer it is, the harder it is for me to remember his voice and my mom's voice.
yes. I feel the same way.
And it's sad because I thought I'd always, always remember it.
But see, Kim, your memories don't go away. Your memories are strong. And when I still periodically feel sad about everything, but my memories are really good of my late wife. And I know we were a team. We went through life together, and I'm proud of what we accomplished.
Hmm. So today, the project for us, since you guys have your journals and everything today, let's make a note of things that is keeping us busy. What we would do in life as number one, are we going to be freshly looking through things and making sure that we're living life in a way that helps us memorialize the person, in a way that helps us cope with the person not being there? Or are we going to go out and find another spouse and thrive with a new spouse? I mean, you could do any of those things and still thrive in life if you wanted to,
Yeah,
right?
sure. And what happened to me and how I cope with it is not totally unique because many people have gone down my road. And I told you there's like two other roads you could go down. But, life is full of choices. You pick a road, you try not to look back, and you keep going down that road. And that's how life goes, you guys.
Do you think if Linda didn't meet you that she would have found another person too, or not really?
So,
Why do you think he wouldn't have?
but she had been a widow for 10 years at that point. She was raising her two kids. And actually, when I first met her, told me she wasn't interested in looking for another husband.
Oh, she
But
just wanted a friend.
yeah, but I told her, you know what? I'm looking for a wife.
Right. So see, then you changed her mind. She went from one road to the other.
That's right.
Did she ever say anything about that?
No, she's happy.
But
I'm happy.
but how did you change your mind?
Hey, I guess she realized that I was as good as her first husband, and
Yeah.
I'd help take care of her and stuff,
Yeah.
and we're compatible.
Yeah.
And hey, it's worked. Like I told you, 16 years.
Because she changed her road
Yes,
to match your road.
that's right. Right.
And that, honestly, I don't know if we'll ever interview her because she's kind of shy,
Yes,
but
yes.
you know,
She
eh,
won't talk to you
but
about it.
but my father will be able to explain it to you
Yeah,
in his perspective of that. Right, Dad?
I think so.
Is there anything else that you want to tell the audience while we have them listening?
No, we've sort of covered most of the bases.
Yeah.
Like the important thing is don't give up, keep going. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about something, about what helps me go. What keeps me going is having things to do. And like I said, I was really busy, but I think I have to make sure that I slow down a little bit. But that doesn't mean don't do anything, because I don't want to be sitting around like doing nothing. So I have projects. I create my projects. And so my project is basically having with the podcast, helping others with their grief on Mondays, just like today, giving them little projects to do, and then writing my books. And I also like to talk to all my patients about life, because I feel like if I calm them down when I talk to them at my work, then it's helping them. Like we can transform lives with teeth. Why can't we transform lives with emotions and helping them progress through their journey of life? Because grieving is always going to be there. It's always going to be a part of us. However, we can always help it along.
See, like I told you guys earlier, my patients aren't just my patients, they're my friends. And when my patients come in, we don't just talk about their dental problems, we talk about life. As a matter of fact, my secretary tells me I talk to my patients too much.
More than you work.
Yes,
But it's therapeutic for you and them.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
For me, especially therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're aware of the fact that, well, what's interesting, other people have problems like you. Uh, and hey, when they hear how you cope with it, it might help them cope with their problems too.
Is there any one story that any of your patients have told you that is so interesting you'd like to share about a spouse and a second spouse or a third spouse?
I've heard this more than once where uh, after your spouse is gone, there are things that happen in your life that you're aware that your spouse spirit is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Be it like one patient says, whenever they find a penny on the ground somewhere, it's been left by their spouse. Okay, and another one is uh, it's hard to pinpoint, but there will be things that your departed has done that you see in your life, and you go, I don't understand how that could happen. For instance, like right after my wife died in San Diego, we waited 2 or 3 days to go back to El Centro to plan her funeral. And I love telling this story. We walked into my house in El Centro. I hadn't been in it for like 3 months. I know when I left it, I shut off all the lights. So when I walked into it, my kids were with me. Dr. Kim, my two sons, my grandchildren, they're all with me. We walked into my house, and I realized the my bedroom lamps were on. So I told my kids, you know what? Your mother turned that on for us to welcome us into her house. So my judge son, he told me, Dad, you're full of it. That can't possibly happen. So I went up to one of the lamps and I grabbed hold of the light bulb. Had it been on for 3 months, because I hadn't been in there that long. It would have been hot as hell to the touch. It was cool to the touch, you guys. That means someone just turned it on
Yeah.
before we walked in.
Yeah.
And another thing, that same night, my granddaughter was out there in the living room playing a tune on my wife's piano. So I asked my son when we were in the bedroom talking about the light bulb, I asked my son, did you give your daughter piano lesson? But she's actually playing a tune. So we went out to the living room, and there was a sheet of music on top of the piano where my granddaughter, who didn't know how to play the piano, she played by touching certain keys. And I knew that that sheet of music had been in the seat for the last 30 years. And then when we walked in that night, someone put the sheet of music on her stupid piano. It was my wife. And then another story that I heard was my grandson, who was 2 years old. I heard this one a couple of weeks after my wife passed away, after a funeral. My grandson had been telling his parents that his grandmother's spirit would come in at night in his living room and read books to him. So, and I myself thought my grandson must be crazy, but to see there are things that the departed is trying to maintain and let you know that they're still here. Like I'd drive home from San Diego, going to El Central, and like the first month, I would look to the passenger seat. I'd be driving. I would see my departed wife sitting in that seat. Now it's been 18 and a half years. I don't see her there anymore, but you know what? Feel her there. She's there. She's accompanying me on my trip back and forth. She's always with me, and that's comforting to know. So there are these things that the departed will do, and you know, you don't laugh at these things because I've talked to other people and they have experienced similar problems, and they don't know the explanation, but that it happens, and I see that, I notice that. So just stay open minded about everything. And of course, one of these days when you're gone, you will meet your spouse again in heaven and stuff. But in the meantime, the spouse is trying to stay in contact with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there. These are things that I've experienced. Yeah. So there. Even Kim has told me certain things about Mark and her after he's gone that he knows it. So stuff happens, you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, there's been things that happen that nobody can explain except for me thinking about it's Mark. Because there's certain things that he does, like if I really need something, I'll ask and it's always done.
Hmm. Yeah.
I can't explain how or why or what, but I think he's always there watching out for me. And he used to tell me I should go find another spouse once he passed away. But I still haven't. But maybe, who knows if that's going to happen. My path of life is different than my father's because I'm doing everything on my own and I'm teaching people and I'm, going out to the wilderness. I'm doing things on my own. I'm hiking. I'm being a survivor. I'm helping people just like you to figure out life again. There's no right or wrong, but that's it. Okay. Tell us another story. Anything else?
I can't think of anything right off the bat,
Okay.
but things I hear stories from my patients. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to say that your homework today is going to be to write down the things that you hope to accomplish and see if you're going to do it alone or with somebody. And if you have somebody, great. Explain how you're doing it together. And if you're doing it alone, see how you're going to do it alone. And there's no right or wrong. We just want to hear about your stories. So chat with us. Let us know next week, because next week on Monday, same time at 4:30, we're going to start another pod and talk about this. Okay? So say bye for now.
Bye, you guys. Nice visiting with you.
Okay. See you next week.